Today's video will be about this flat earth fool, Kevin Bobick. And he's a classic flat earther. He's tried to prove the flat earth using C24. You know what I mean? And of course, he uses a Nikon P1000. So this will be a typical flat earth video, and I found it was a recommendation from Taboo Conspiracy. Kevin is a religious flat earther, so he starts his video with a part with the pastor. Then he have a long segment where he shows that he understands how the radius and so on Earth is calculated, so we can't say that he don't understand the globe model. But we will look at the part when he takes out his Nikon P1000 and a tripod.
Now that we know the Earth must curve at a certain rate if we lived on a globe, let's go over some long-distance observations I made in Okaloosa Island, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. My exact viewing location was on the Okaloosa Island Pier. This pier stands at a height of 25 feet above the water.
And here I found it.
With my Nikon P1000 and its tripod, adding about another 5 feet, we can safely say that my viewing height was 30 feet above sea level. And just to show you, I did my due diligence on what we're zooming in on. We have this observation tower on Eglin Air Force Base.
I found that one too.
We also have the Navarre Beach Water Tower, also known as the Holly Navarre Water System.
Okay, found it.
We have this group of condominiums, that is this entire group of buildings behind the water tower, just viewed at a different angle. Then we have the Belle Mer condos.
Here is the water tower, and here is the first buildings he's talking about, and here we have the Bellmore Tower.
The main one I want to focus on is the Sun Dunes condominiums, which are the farthest away from my viewing location.
That building is located here, and here you have the water tower.
All of these locations were not easy to find on Google Earth because they were flattened out.
And very easy to find if you use Street View on Google Maps. This is the latest building he was talking about.
So I asked Google, how come some areas on Google Earth are not 3D? And the response admits that it's using low-flying aircraft, not satellites, also known as aerial photography. I just figured if there are that many satellites up there, why not take an updated photo?
And the fool didn't understand the reply he got. It's satellite-based. It's only the 3D part of bigger cities, more populated places, there they use planes. Oh dear.
Let's stay on track. From my viewing position, the Sun Dunes condos is 17.77 miles away. The height of the Sun Dunes condos is said to be 90 to 108 feet tall. For number's sake, we will say these condos stand at 100 feet tall. The great part about the rate of curvature we just learned is that there's a calculator we can use that can factor in the height of the observer. I'll leave a link in the description below. For the height of the observer, or eye height, we will put 30 feet. For the target distance, we will factor in 17.77 miles. Now this will show us how much curvature there should be in H1, which is the target hidden height. As we can see, the target hidden height is 81.6 feet. We should only be able to see the top 18.4 feet of the condos. This isn't adding up.
Obviously, this fool thinks we live on the moon. Because here on Earth we have an atmosphere, and if we take that into account, we get this result. With standard refraction, 60 feet is hidden, so it's adding up perfectly.
Now, I know what might be coming to mind. If the Earth is flat, why can't we see the bottom of these buildings?
It will be very interesting to hear his answer to that one, but I'm quite sure it will be stupid.
The reason we can't see the bottom of these condos is that the bottom of these condos is beyond the range of my camera.
So the range is better to the top of the buildings? Oh dear.
We have a limit of sight with the naked eye, but with the super zoom camera it will allow us to see further than we usually could.
Oh dear, is he for real? First he found a illustration about how your eye works, and then he changed it into this. Your P1000 don't have an eye.
Even then, objects will always converge into the horizon and start vanishing from bottom up.
This old trick.
It took me a while to comprehend the law of perspective and the vanishing point. But after you understand how your eyes work, the truth of your reality will start making a lot more sense to you.
Once again, your camera don't have an eye.
The other reason we can't see the base of these condos is that the horizon can sometimes appear optical, especially over water or the ocean.
Appear optical?
Just like with this sunset over the ocean, certain atmospheric conditions, including air density, water vapor, glare, haze, and atmospheric lensing, will obscure the lower portion of distant objects.
What about refraction?
As with this sunset producing a superior mirage below it,
oh dear.
on another day, these buildings created a similar effect. This is optical, not physical. To put it another way, it's about how something looks or appears rather than its physical properties. The physical properties of large bodies of H2O will always need a container and will always remain level.
This nonsense about the water needing a container have nothing to do with the fact that you don't see the lower parts of the building you observed.
Let's continue with some long-distance observations I did here in New Mexico, where there is no ocean to cause these effects. Another great part about doing long-distance observations here in New Mexico is its high elevation and very dry climate, which minimizes the effect of atmospheric refraction. But since we're not at sea level, elevation must be accounted for. This observation was conducted in Placitas, right down the street from the fire station. Zooming in on Cabazon Peak, which happens to look like a giant tree stump, but besides the point. The elevation of my first viewing location is 5,867 feet.
Okay, I did find the location.
The bottom of Cabazon Peak has an average elevation of 6,400 feet. Adding 5 feet for my tripod and camera, I'm still 528 feet below the average elevation of the base of Cabazon Peak, so there's no need to account for eye height in the Earth Curve calculator. The top of Cabazon Peak is said to be 7,785 feet, and if the bottom of Cabazon Peak is 6,400 feet, the elevation difference from bottom to the top is 1,385 feet. I hope I'm not losing you guys with all these numbers. I hope this visual helps. The average elevation of the bottom of Cabazon Peak is 6,400 feet.
And here it goes wrong once again. Here is the peak. But do we see the bottom of the peak or the mountain? To the left you have his location and to the right the peak. Between Kevin and the peak there are several areas that are higher elevated than him, so let's zoom in on one of them. As you see, Kevin didn't see the base of the mountain.
The peak is at 7,785 feet. From the bottom to the top is 1,385 feet. My viewing height is 528 feet below the bottom's elevation, the total equaling to 1,913 feet.
So according to Kevin, the lower yellow line is at the same height as his, 5,867 feet. And we know that this is 6,421 feet. If that's correct, the gap would be 554 feet. So if we make a line You see here, and then duplicate it, and then we take one more line. There you see it's 3.5 times the difference between the two numbers. But is this correct? If you look at this height profile for the stretch he's looking at it, it's impossible for him to determine what in the terrain he's seeing is at the same height as him. So this is pure nonsense. He's fabricating numbers to try to prove his silly flat earth theories. Or you can call him, he's a flat earth liar.
The eye height stays at 0. The distance from my viewing location is 41.38 miles. The target hidden height, H1, becomes 1,141 feet. 1,913 minus 1,141 equals 772. We should only be able to see the top 772 feet of Cabazon Peak. No curvature is observed.
So how do we know that this is 772 feet of the mountain? He don't. He make up stories that fits his narrative. This is pure nonsense. He have no evidence for his silly claims.
And just to really shut up the refraction claim, I repeated this observation with an infrared filter. An infrared filter can minimize atmospheric refraction because it helps to reduce the effects of scattering and distortion caused by the atmosphere.
And there we have a lie, one more lie. It's the same principles for infrared as visual lights. They follow the Snell's law. It's complete bullshit from him.
Infrared light is less affected by these atmospheric conditions compared to visible light. By using an infrared filter, I can focus on the wavelengths that are less prone to refraction, which results in clear images and improved accuracy in observations. All data confirms if the Earth curved at 8 inches per mile squared, we would only be able to see the top 772 feet of Cabazon Peak. Yet, we can see the entire mountain, indicating it's visible from bottom up.
No, Kevin, you have managed to prove one thing, that you are a science-denying and reality-denying fool. Oh dear. Okay, that was all I had for you this time. It's been a long time since my last video, but I hope you're still interested in my content. I will be back. See you then. Have a nice day. Bye.